Okay, let's get to it. Trump has induced schizophrenia into the American mind. Induced schizophrenia. It is said by the masters, by some, that the spiritual journey induces schizophrenia. The spiritual journey induces a schizophrenia. Just look at Avatar. Avatar, Jake Sully, is an induced schizophrenia. What does that mean? But before that, I'm Ed Connolly, and I live in Blackstone, Virginia. I have no rank, authority, PhD, or tradition, but I speak from 89 years of the spiritual journey. So let's look into this schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is where the mind splits into two voices, and each one is true, believable, but they're contradictory. So a few days ago, a local schizophrenic woman, she's a friend who has been living in this schizophrenia her whole life, and she came over and talked for a while, and she was torn because she couldn't go home. She said, my voices don't want me to go home. So she's caught between two voices. One voice says, I want to go home. And the other voice says, you don't go home, it's dangerous. She couldn't go home again because the two voices were both speaking as her voice, but they were contradictory. And she was going to sit there all night and just talk. She couldn't get out of the talking. She just kept repeating the same thing over and over. She was stuck. So I said, look, tell your voices that you'll take care of the situation tomorrow. But you have to go to sleep. You have to go home and go to bed now. Tell them that you'll deal with this problem tomorrow. She smiled and says, okay, and she went home. She couldn't move until she had one voice, you see. So America is in a schizophrenic, is having a schizophrenic break right now. Just like Jake Sully in Avatar. Jake Sully's schizophrenia was when, and he described it, I'm in no man's land. I don't know if the sky people, the humans are real, or the Navi and Pandora is real. Which is real? I don't know. So he was going back and forth. That's schizophrenia. You don't know which of the two voices or viewpoints or visions in your mind are real. You can't tell. You can't tell. So this is a very deep subject here, because perhaps we're all schizophrenic, bipolar. Consciousness is bipolar. Consciousness is two, and we have to choose which of the two is the one. This goes on inside, and we experience this dilemma when you get in a situation like, should I choose this job or that job? Should I choose this person or that person? Should I go to Walmart or Target? Should I do this or that? Wah, 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 wah. The wah, wah is when you stick a microphone in an amplifier and it amplifies the split. Wah, 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 wah. Turn it off, you see. These are schizophrenic breaks going on all the time. Normally, we know what to do. I'm going to Walmart. I'll go to Target later. But if we get caught in schizophrenia, going to Target and going to Walmart are the same. And we can't choose the better, because choice requires that one choice is the better. Even if two choices are, say, well, choose the lesser of two evils. If both You see, in schizophrenia, to be normal, we have to be able to choose. Last time I did this talk, I dropped one of these frogs. So here we have one frog, see it's a little brass frog, split into two frogs. Now I could say, would you bring me the frog? And you will say, which one? They're both the same. So I will have to point to the one I want, point to this one, you see. But even I may not be able to tell which is which. So we keep asking other people because we can't choose. And there has to be one, you see. Everything is one. Let there be one, says the Bible. There's one God, not two. There's one reality, not two. There's one frog, not two. Because if there were two frogs that were absolutely identical, we couldn't choose. So now I would have to ask somebody else to choose for me because I can't get out of the ambiguity. I can't get out of the schizophrenia. Wow, 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 wow. Turn it off. Which is the one? Which is the one? Tell me, which is the one frog? I can't choose. You can't choose unless there is one. Just the slightest difference. Just a little teeny, we can't find it. Just a tiny difference. Oh, I can choose that frog because it's different from this frog. But if they were precisely the same, and no matter how much you Googled it or did AI to choose for you or to figure out a difference, if there was no difference, you couldn't choose. And that would be schizophrenia. And you would have to find somebody to choose for you or you would go mad. You would go mad because ambiguity is madness. Ambiguity is psychosis. Ambiguity is consciousness that can't choose one or the other. So you have to go find somebody who can choose for you. And this creates cults. A cult is a mind that cannot choose the truth, so you have a leader who chooses for you. And now you worship that leader because he chooses the one, the truth, the way, and relieves you of the horror of ambiguity. Movies are full of this. Look at Apocalypse Now. Captain Williams is on a mission to go to the headwaters of the mind or consciousness where Captain Kurtz is stuck. Wah, 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 wah. He's stuck there. He tried to find the source, and he got stuck at the headwaters. Wah, wah, wah. So Captain Williams was sent to free the river from the dam of ambiguity. Wah, wah, wah. So Captain Kurtz got stuck in it. Captain Williams got stuck in it. Wah, 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 wah. Kurtz was mad. He was mad because of the horror. The horror. That's two horrors. The horror of one, the horror of the other. He couldn't choose which horror was the one. He couldn't choose. Wow, 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 wow. So if you remember the movie, Captain Williams disappeared and arose out of a river painted like a pagan. He was another person. He was another way of knowing. He was a pagan way of knowing. And he killed Captain Kurtz and freed the river and went back to the war, the mad war of Vietnam, centered in the world. He had restored his center. So anyway, I digress here on movies. Movies are my gurus. So this Avatar and Apocalypse Now are really the same movie. There is an induced schizophrenia. Vietnam was an induced schizophrenia. You didn't know who was the enemy. You don't know who to fight. You don't know what to choose. Wow, 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 wow. So Trump is inducing that schizophrenia into America. And it's driving us crazy. So America is having a schizophrenic break. But anyway, I'll pick this up. We'll talk about this more this morning. Subscribe. I keep reminding people, subscribe to this madness.